Audacity is a buzzword at this event in Abuja as women gathered to celebrate the milestone achievements of women in politics on Democracy Day. Women participation in politics in the last election has been discouraging, but women here say they are not giving up as they push with more audacity to ensure women are not left behind. The convener of the event says more women should look up to Kudirat Abiola for courage to continue the fight of ensuring more women participation. She says the story of Abiola cannot be complete without mentioning his wife Kudirat Abiola on the role she played to support the fight for democracy and paid with her life.
It's affirmative audacity. What Kudirat was in the first place was a woman who loved her husband so much she didn't want him to get into the whole political engagement. And then when he did, and she tragically lost him to the whole political experience, she became an experiential testimony of a woman who now took on not just the mantle but the armor of a woman warrior in the fight for political for political positioning, not for herself but for her generation, for her gender, but most importantly as a memorial to her husband's sacrifice.
For the daughter of late Moshood Abiola, Kudirat Abiola's sacrifices should not be forgotten.
When it comes to women's contributions, when people talk about Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, for instance, you're more likely to hear she was the first woman to drive, and not really the other contributions that she made to whether it was the women's movement or our democracy, our independence struggle. It's most likely the softer things like she was the first woman to drive. So that's a very valid point you raised. She was my stepmom. Her children have been very active in the campaign they were very active in the campaign for democracy as well. And it's actually a very key point that you raised, that perhaps it's important that we do more to honor her memory and to remember her sacrifice as well.
Kudirat is politically one that has set an agenda for Nigerian women, that yes, you can be that voice that is as strong as believing in a cause and going for it, and even dying for it.
Leaders here are also calling on President Bola Tinubu to consider more appointive positions for women in his cabinet.
The women should first of all understand that they have large number of voters. About 49 million women are voters, close to men. And when you experience voters apathy, women are out. So that means we have more number of women voting than men. So with that realization, they should now know that it's time to mentor. Like I said, some people failed, their generation failed, because when you are there, your job is to bring more women on board. That's what the men are doing. So why can't we do it?
The Nigerian women said they have been marginalized for too long. But with President Tinubu's administration, they are hoping that more women will be appointed to be part of nation building, considering the June 12 struggle. Punaraman